You're welcome to be in. You can be in. You want to be in? Hey. Hey, bud. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, I'm pregnant. I am very excited. First of all, I know everybody is pregnant right now. I think we're gonna have a serious post-pandemic baby boom. It's just from what I've seen in my personal life. I know, like, including online people, probably like 8 people who are pregnant right now who are due right around the same time I am, which is cool, but also surreal. I feel like every other day somebody else is announcing their pregnancy. But now it's my turn, I'm pregnant. I am currently, when you see this YouTube video, I will be 12 weeks along. I will be at the very end of my first trimester, just starting my second trimester. It has been a journey so far. Wow, has it been a journey? I'm gonna tell you all the things I've experienced in my first trimester in this video. My husband and I were trying for a baby for about a month and a half before we got pregnant, which is super lucky. I was tracking my periods. We were having sex when I was ovulating, obviously, because that's how babies are made. But it only took a month and a half for me to get pregnant, which is incredible. I was very relieved. Obviously, I've never tried to get pregnant before, so you never know what that's gonna be like until you actually start trying to conceive, how your conceiving journey is gonna go. So I feel very fortunate that it was pretty easy for us, honestly. We've always known that we wanted kids. Kids have always been a part of our plan. However, we've always known that we want me to stay home with our children until they are in school. I say children because we do want 2 children. We want to have a second one after this one. I don't know how soon after this one, because wow, being pregnant is a lot harder than I thought. I took a pregnancy test the day before I was supposed to start my period, and I got a very, very faint positive. I got an incredibly faint second line on the pregnancy test, but then I was reading online about something called evaporation lines, which is where if you let a pregnancy test like sit too long, like say it shows up negative and you throw it away, but then hours later you see it in the trash can and there's like a faint positive line. That could very well just be an evaporation line, which is where the ink just kind of like spreads out and gets into that line. So then I was like, oh, okay, it's probably just an evaporation line. It's probably not a positive pregnancy test. The following day, my periods have always been super regular too. Let me go there. My periods have always been incredibly regular. The following day, I did not get my period, so I took another pregnancy test the day after that, so 2 days after the first initial test that I took. And I had another faint positive pregnancy test, but the line was a little bit darker than before. So that's when I was like, okay, like I might actually be pregnant. So I went to CVS and bought one that actually says pregnant or not pregnant. And sure enough, it said pregnant, and I am pregnant. It's crazy. I freaked out, I screamed, I told my cat. My husband was actually out of town when I found out that I was pregnant, but he was coming back 2 days later, so I waited 2 whole days to tell my husband. He didn't suspect a thing. He had no idea that I was gonna be pregnant. I surprised him by writing it in a card, just like giving him a cute like I love you card. And I said in there like, thank you so much for making me your wife, blah, blah, blah. Oh, also thank you for making me a mom, I'm pregnant. That's probably my favorite moment of my life so far, was getting to surprise him with my pregnancy. His reaction was just like so priceless, so amazing. I hope that memory never leaves my head. It was just like absolutely my favorite memory of life so far. Also, if you hear anything in the background, it's the cicadas. Cicadas are like full blown in Ohio right now, and it's a wild, wild time. I started telling all of my coworkers pretty much instantly. I'm not somebody who's really of the mindset of like, oh, you have to wait until 12 weeks, you have to wait until you're out of your first trimester to start telling people you're pregnant. Because what if you have a miscarriage and blah, blah, blah. I've never been of that mindset. I started telling people instantly. I told my closest girlfriend the day I found out I was pregnant, like the second I found out. We did wait a little longer to tell our moms because Mother's Day was around the corner. So we told both of our moms on Mother's Day that we were expecting. They were both thrilled. I don't think my mom was surprised. My mom said she just had a gut feeling that I was pregnant, but she didn't want to ask me. But I mean, like, they both knew we were trying. Like, you know, it wasn't like an out of the blue surprise to anybody, but the quickness of it was surprising, I guess. Especially to my husband. My husband was like, I mean, I knew you were gonna get pregnant. I just didn't know you were gonna get pregnant so soon. Like, this is great. Of course, you do have a fear of having a miscarriage. I feel like every woman does. And if you have a miscarriage, it's just like, you know, I mean, in my opinion, it's just like you have to try again. If you do still want children, you just have to keep trying. Because it's proof that you can get pregnant is what I was taking it as. You know, like, if God forbid I were to lose this pregnancy, it's proof that I can get pregnant and I will get pregnant again. So yeah, I started telling my coworkers and friends instantly because I don't care. If I'm not that private when it comes to stuff like that. If I were to have a miscarriage, I don't think that was something I would want to go through alone either. That's definitely something I would have wanted my friends and family's support on, and yeah, that's why I chose to tell people as early as I did. I didn't start getting really heavy, serious pregnancy side effects until week 6. Like, literally the day of week 6 is when all the morning sickness kicked in for me, and holy shit, I had a rough time, you guys. I was calling out of work at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. I was so sick. I was literally laying in bed all day, just like moaning in pain. And I threw up frequently, but I didn't throw up like a ton. I wasn't throwing up all day, every day, but I was sick all day, every day. And that lasted, to be super honest, that lasted for like 4 straight weeks. Like, so badly that like my husband had to do my laundry for me because I couldn't, like, I had no energy to do anything extra, anything at all. Couldn't clean the house, couldn't do my laundry, couldn't pick up the bedroom. All I could do when I got home from work was go to bed and like take a nap, try and sleep through the nausea. It was horrible for 4 straight weeks. I did have a doctor's appointment at 8 weeks and they did prescribe me Bongesta, which is what they prescribe to pregnant women now to help with morning sickness. Morning sickness, what a fucking joke, are we right? Like, I really hate that term. It's not morning sickness. Also, my morning sickness was way worse in the evening. It seemed like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. ironically enough, because 6 to 10 weeks was the worst for me, and then 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. was the worst that my morning sickness got. It was terrible. All I could eat during that time was literally saltines and bread and saltines. That's about it. Water and apple juice and saltines. That was my life for 4 straight weeks. Finally, about a week or 2 ago, I got my like appetite back where I can finally eat food again, like real food. So now I feel like I can actually start eating well again because I was eating just like carbs, just crackers all the time, which isn't the funnest, but honestly, like anything else was too harsh on my body, like too acidic, too whatever. Just it would not work for me. It made me feel so horrible. I haven't had any kind of food cravings or anything like that. And I haven't had any like food aversions either, unless you could call everything a food aversion in the beginning, because I didn't want anything other than crackers. But I wouldn't necessarily call that like a craving, you know, like who craves crackers? Like I wasn't craving crackers. It was just the only thing I could eat that wouldn't make me want to throw up instantly. And I even did throw up crackers. So, you know, it's just like, you know, I was just really sick in the beginning. It was really hard. This last week at work was the first week the first week since 6 weeks of being pregnant that I have not called out once. I was very proud of myself for that. I was like, I made it through a whole 40-hour work week without calling out. Like, that's a big deal for me right now. Medication has helped immensely. I did have to go through kind of a process with my insurance to get them to cover it, because originally it was gonna be like $250, and I was like, ouch, I don't know about that, you know? But then my doctors sent back paperwork to my insurance company being like, no, she needs this medication. So then they did cover it. It's still expensive though. It's still $40, which is not $250, but still not super cheap. But I've missed way more than $40 worth of work. So overall, it's well worth it for me to go ahead and do that and be taking it. Like I said, that's helped tremendously with me. So if you're suffering with morning sickness, I would highly recommend getting some help for that, because it was quite literally debilitating. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even talk on the phone. Like my mother-in-law and my mom were like, oh, give us a call sometime. And I was like, yeah, I want to die. Like I can't talk on the phone. Another pregnancy symptom I've been dealing with is acne. I've been getting really wicked acne. Like I haven't had such bad acne since I was in high school, and it's mainly all in this area. It's mainly all around my jawline, specifically on this side. I'll insert a clip here that I took in daylight showing all my acne glory, because it's been rough. Like I've had so many cluster breakouts right in those like classic hormonal zones, your jawline. And that's the first pregnancy symptom I had. Like I started breaking out there right before I found out I was pregnant, which is crazy now looking back at it. I'm like, oh wow, that's what that was. Hasn't gone away. Hasn't gone anywhere. I still just continuously break out there all the time. The fatigue is so real. Holy shit, I am so tired all the time. I work mornings at my job, so I usually work 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a typical day for me. And every single day when I get off work, I come home and take a nap. Every single day, I have to take a nap. It's a really, really big part of my routine is taking that nap after work. And then once I'm up for my nap, I probably get up and like I'll nap as long as I can. So I'll usually take like a 2 to 4 hour nap depending on how dead I am. And once I get up from that nap, I'll be up for like 3 more hours, and then I go to bed for the night and I sleep all through the night. In the very beginning, I was having bouts of insomnia, which is something I'm really used to. I'm an insomniac myself. I've had insomnia my entire life. But now since I have so much fatigue, it is helping me sleep, which is cool, I guess, but I'm tired all the time and I need a nap every day. Coupling up with sleeping all the time has been vivid dreams. I've been having so many vivid dreams that are like long and vivid. Like I remember them start to finish, and it's wild because I feel like maybe this is how I always dream, but I just never remember it. But I remember all of them now, which is crazy. The hardest I've ever dreamt before was when I was on trazodone, which is a sleeping pill that I was on pre-pregnancy that I will absolutely be on again post-pregnancy. And with that, I had vivid dreams, but it's still not comparable to pregnancy dreams. Pregnancy dreams are crazy. Like every single time I'm asleep, I'm having crazy, wild, vivid dreams. And honestly, I love it. I'm here for the pregnancy dreams. Like it's the only like fun and like tripping out I get to do being pregnant, so I'm all about it. Except I've had some insanely scary ones. Some like insanely scary ones that are like straight up horrifying. Those have not been fun, but I'm still impressed. I know, I'm weird. I'm like, you scared the shit out of me. I didn't enjoy it, but I was impressed. Like that was scary, so good job. Since we're best friends, I've also been hella constipated. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad, you guys. When you're pregnant, your metabolism slows down because you're giving nutrients to your baby and all that. And you just digest food totally differently when you're pregnant. But you also like, so basically everything's just slowing down, but it's like a lot. Like it's rough. So one of the things I have been incorporating into my diet a lot is really fiber-rich cereal. My favorite is Cracklin' Oat Bran. I love Cracklin' Oat Bran. I always have. And that does help keep me regular. There's other things you can do. I could be taking Miralax. I could be taking Colace. I could be taking something for it, but I would rather try and get something into my diet that's gonna help me rather than like a supplement. There's nothing wrong with supplements. I just am already on so many that I'm like, let's do food where I can, and I love Cracklin' Oat Bran, so that's why I'm doing it that way. I've had really sore boobs. My boobs have been super sore. They're like an off-limit zone for my husband right now. I'm like, no sir, no touching. Also, my cat will like walk across my chest when I'm laying down, and I have to be like, nope, like no, like I can't handle it right now. It's so sore. They're so tender. In the beginning, I felt like they were growing. I felt like they were swelling, and that's why they were so tender. But now I feel like they've deflated again. Like I feel like this is my normal boob size. And I read it's just pregnancy hormones. It's basically just hormones that make your boobs feel sore. So that's all it is. It's gonna be this way. Last pregnancy symptom I have for you guys is that my cat loves me more. My cat Riff Raff has always been my BFF. He's always been my shadow. Like I love my cat, we're very close. He kind of like follows me all around the house all times of the day. That's why I call him my shadow. He's my baby, I love him so much. I swear he knows I'm pregnant. I swear he knows. He loves laying on my belly now. That's not really something he ever did before. Like he will cuddle my belly and like curl up onto it and lay next to it and nuzzle it. I will insert footage here if I'm doing it because God knows I've taken some. But I swear he knows I'm pregnant. Like I swear he knows. It's the craziest thing because he's always been attached to me, but ever since I got pregnant, like the further in my pregnancy, I feel like the stronger his attachment is getting. Like he's getting more and more and more attached to me and needs more of that cuddle time with me than he ever did before. I'm not mad about it. I love it, you know, like I'm down for it. I love Riff Raff so much, so it's not really a bad thing for me at all. Cats and dogs can smell the hormonal change in pregnant women. That is a real thing. However, I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows if that means that they can tell you're pregnant or they just think you smell different. You know? I don't think anyone can talk to cats or dogs, so I don't think anyone actually knows if they know that people are pregnant, but they can smell the change, so whatever that means. I'm in my beauty room, which will soon become a baby room. We're gonna slowly get everything out of this room. All of my stuff is moving down into our bonus room, which has been empty since we moved into this house. This is gonna become the baby room. I'm very excited for that. We have a lot to do and get still, obviously, but I don't know, I don't really feel like doing that until later, you know, like we've been doing it little by little. I set up my registry on Amazon. I wanna talk about baby registries for a second too, while we're here. I know a lot of people who have had babies. And I just have to say, when I made my baby registry, I made it with the intent of I am going to have to buy everything on this list. And I feel like that's how everyone should approach making a baby registry. I don't feel like you should be putting like all the big ticket items that you could ever want or dream of. Like it shouldn't be your like wish list necessarily. I don't know, for some reason, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm different, maybe I just grew up poor, but for some reason I've always found that disrespectful to the people who are shopping for you or to the people who are buying for you, like disrespectful of their money. It's that whole scenario of like, if your mom's like, oh, I'll buy you anything you want, and you pick out like the $300 jacket that you would never, ever, ever buy yourself. It's like, that whole mindset of like respecting other people's money. Like just because it's not your money doesn't mean it's not real money. Like it's still like, maybe I don't know how to verbalize this really, but every single thing that I put on my baby registry is something, if nobody bought us, it would be okay. Like I would be able to afford it and I would ultimately end up buying it. Amazon, I really liked how they did their baby registry list. They give you categories, and then they give you things in that category that you'll need, and then you can decide for yourself what you're gonna need or not need. Obviously with babies, there's a ton of frivolous stuff that you can get sucked into very quickly. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. I'm trying to genuinely just get things that we will need, because obviously once the baby comes, I'm not going to be working. So our money is going to be very, very tight, very tight once the baby gets here. We are going to be on a strict budget. So I'm just being very careful with how I'm spending my money already, because The last thing I would want to do is spend $20 here, $30 here, $20 here, $15 there on shit I will never ever use, you know? Like I'm trying to avoid that at all cost. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube from mothers being like things I regret purchasing. Those have been pretty helpful. I've absolutely taken some stuff off of my list after watching those videos. And then for a lot of the big ticket items like the crib, we already got the crib. We already got a crib off of Craigslist for $30. Amazing. So we're trying to buy secondhand a lot of the big ticket items and things that we can buy secondhand. I think the only thing we're really gonna splurge on is a wardrobe, which we're getting from IKEA for like $160, you know, like still very budget friendly. But I think that's the only thing we're gonna have to splurge on. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get lucky and find one at a garage sale. Who knows, you know? I'm open to anything. I grew up on secondhand. I'm all about it, especially when it comes to baby stuff, because that stuff is so temporary that you don't need to be spending $1 billion on the greatest, biggest, best thing out there. Your baby will still be loved. Like, it doesn't mean you don't love your baby if you're not spending $1 billion buying the nicest, fanciest crib. Like, that's such bullshit. And nobody should guilt you into thinking you're a bad mom for not spending millions of dollars on your baby. Just gonna throw that out there. Anyways, I just got back from the doctor's like a couple of hours ago. I just got to see my baby again. Very exciting. The heartbeat is great. It's strong. My baby's super chill. My baby was just laying there the whole time, just like, what's up, fam? Super chill baby. We are gonna find out the gender of the baby, but unfortunately that's not something we're able to find out until 20 weeks. So 2 months from now, which is like so far away. Like, holy shit, that's so far away. Very grateful that I'm feeling not so sick anymore. My husband and I are gonna go out on a date tonight to celebrate me not feeling sick anymore. Yay! Had to get some blood drawn at the doctor's today. That's what that is. Oh, as far as gender goes, boy or girl, right? Everyone's like, do you have a preference? Like, do you want a boy or a girl? We absolutely want a girl. Everybody in my family wants a girl. I want a girl. There's no girls on my husband's side. My sister has a nephew, so there's no like baby girls on my side. Just a lack of girls all around. We would die for a little girl. We would love a little girl. But I feel like my mother-in-law put it into words best. She said, we all want it to be a girl until the second we hear it's a boy, which is how I feel. Like, of course, like we all would want a girl. If we could all pick what gender it would be, we would pick girl. But if we find out it's a boy, we're not gonna give a shit. Like, we're not gonna be like, oh, send it back. We're gonna love a boy just as hard as we would love a little girl. That doesn't change anything, but I'd be lying if I said like, we have no preference, we just want a healthy baby. Like, of course, I'm not an asshole. Everybody just wants a healthy baby. But yeah, I have a preference. We would like a girl. I'm not ashamed to say that. I feel like it will be a boy though, just because there's nothing but boys on my husband's side of the family. Like his dad, his dad's dad, his dad's dad's dad, all boys. But you never know, could be a girl. According to the Chinese prediction calendar, it's a girl. It's still way too soon to like tell how I'm carrying or anything. I'll show you my bump, I guess. I mean, like there's nothing I can really show you. I'm already wearing maternity shorts, which is great. There we go, some more accurate representation of where we're at right now. I do have a little bit of a belly though, and for sure at the end of the day, like not so much right now, it's like midday right now, but at the end of the day, it definitely pooches out more. But I mean, I'm only almost 12 weeks, so I know I'm gonna grow a lot more. I think that's everything. I think that's everything I wanted to cover. That's how my first trimester was. It was a lot harder than I thought. I thought being pregnant was gonna be super easy, to be super honest. I'm 29, so I definitely thought like, oh, I'm in my 20s, I'm in the clear, I'll have a super chill pregnancy. Not so much. Not so much, it turns out. So yeah, it's been really, really rough so far. But I finally feel like I'm coming out of the woods. I feel like I'm getting over all the like first sickness and all that, thank God. I'm definitely starting to feel more and more like myself every day, which is incredible, amazing. I can eat more than just crackers. all great things. Oh, okay, one last thing. I'm somebody who has suffered with anxiety and depression pretty much my whole life. It's kind of gotten worse the older I've gotten, if I'm being honest, and pre-pregnancy, I was taking Lexapro and Trazodone to treat my anxiety and depression, and they helped tremendously. I stopped taking them completely in January, and we started trying to get pregnant in February. And then I found out I was pregnant in April. We conceived in early April, late March, somewhere around there. When I was off of Lexapro and Trazodone, when I wasn't pregnant, I did start to feel my depression and anxiety coming back again. And I was like, oh shit, like this is why I was on that medication. It was kind of a humble reminder that it was doing something. But then the weirdest thing happened when I got pregnant. For whatever reason, all of my anxiety and depression went away. Like, gone with the wind. I don't know how that happened. I feel super fortunate that that is the case. But for whatever reason, all of my anxiety and depression is gone. I've heard that can happen to some people with hormones. Everybody reacts differently to hormones. That's why every pregnancy is different for every woman. But for me personally, all of my anxiety and depression is gone. Hi. Hi, baby. You wanna say hello? Hello. What's on your tail? That's a claw. I expected to have a lot of anxiety around my pregnancy. I expected to be someone who is constantly afraid of having a miscarriage, and it's never something that has crossed my mind. I have never felt like I was gonna have a miscarriage. I never had any worry about having a miscarriage. I didn't have any concern about it. I don't have any concern about having an unhealthy baby. Like, I have no anxiety around this pregnancy, which is so weird if you know me, but I just don't. I just feel good. Like, it just feels right. I just feel good. So yeah, just worth noting, that's just my personal experience. If you are dealing with all of that and you're pregnant, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you at all. This is just, it's different for everybody. I just think it's fascinating and wild that I've had no anxiety or depression. Like, that's really strange for me. But that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, any thoughts, comments, questions, please leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I see them. I'm sorry I've been missing from this channel for so long. I forgot to address that. That's because I was so sick, I literally had no energy to sit up and edit a video. That's how bad I felt. I couldn't edit a YouTube video. Horrible. Couldn't film one, let alone edit it. Wasn't gonna happen. But now that I'm feeling better, I will be back to posting more regularly for sure. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna go and continue getting ready for my hot date tonight. But thank you again for watching. I hope you're doing well. I'm pregnant, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.